do April 4th.
April.
I believe. Let me look. Maybe I'm wrong. Nope, until 1 PM Thursday, April 4th. Bids received after this time will not be accepted.
And when are you gonna open them?
They'll be opened at that time.
20 seconds wait.
Yep.
Not letting somebody do it.
You can't.
Yeah,
You can't.
I mean, it is a bright line cutoff. If
It
you're
is.
late, you're late.
Absolutely. We had, on the very
Somebody's
first
truck in the parking lot.
sewer project we had, they FedExed, it was supposed to be here at 10:30 that morning, and it showed up 8 minutes after 1, and we didn't open it. We wrote on it with the exact time and date. They went back to FedEx because they paid for it to be there at that time. They would have been the low bidder on that project.
Oh.
Yeah, and you can't touch it, you can't open it. And every contractor was sitting there watching when that came in to see what you were doing. It was like, write it down,
That's what
stamp it, don't touch it, sign it.
That's what they were doing on the fireball project,
Yeah.
sitting here watching.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You're watching
You
every
have
little,
You have that clock or something that you,
I have that date time when they come in through the door. Yep. Yeah,
Hopefully it's competitive.
I hope so too.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I think we're hitting it at a good time. Just
Yeah.
about right, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the owner, Mr. Dodd, wanted to do a long-term lease, and I told him no on your behalf. And said that we're going to be moving out before the end of the year, and so would rather stay month to month at this point. And he said, well, that makes my second question moot, and I said, what's that? And he said, I was gonna ask if the town would be interested in buying this building. I said, absolutely not.
Besides,
I know.
money
Too
you
much.
want for it.
Yeah, yeah, no.
Yeah.
How much is he asking for it?
I don't know how much, he didn't tell me how much. I know, like, he wants to rent that room next to us for $750.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so I did tell him that we would let people know that the building's for sale and that he will have office space available. So, but yeah, we're doing pretty good. We're getting there. I think that's all we have on there.
One more thing on it,
Oh.
that's, and Tim worked with me on this, when Duke was here, they took a few more samples, out because when we didn't know this till kinda last minute, but when we bought that, there was some contamination that hadn't been cleaned up out in one corner that wasn't gonna be affected by either of our projects. And then they came back and they made that change and they decided they needed to test for arsenic as well as lead. And all of a sudden, there was a bigger area that was affected. And some of it's right in the corner of where we're gonna be. They took some samples, it was Wednesday or Thursday last week. Haven't heard the results back. The worst it's gonna mean is that they'll have to have the people that do the excavation being appropriately certified and keep things wet down while they do the excavation. But we're
Would
following
we have
up
to
on
truck it out?
that.
You can stockpile in the corner over there.
Yeah.
If they think that it's gonna be contaminated enough where they wanna manage it and stuff, then
Okay,
we could stockpile it because
cover.
don't have a memorandum of understanding between the big three, so we can't tie it
Because
up
you
the
know, if we
road.
stockpile and put a pile there, the kids are gonna be using it to, yeah, honestly, they'll be running their bikes off of it and jumping the sidewalk and everything else. I mean,
A little grassy mound.
yeah.
Well, whatever.
If you put signs up that says ride bike here, they won't ride the bike
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't ride.
Yeah, that's true. If you tell them they can't ride, they'll be on it
Please
for
ride your
sure.
bikes right here and then it'll be, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, when we did the application, they told us it'd be 6 to 8 weeks to have it approved, and we put it in, when we gave them the cover letter with it, we talked about how we plan to use the rent that we're paying here to pay, plus the savings is available too, because just having one phone system is gonna have quite a bit of savings, instead of 2 separate phone systems for the buildings, plus time going back and forth to Forest and gas and everything else, so, you know. I was surprised when I was surprised she emailed or called me and they asked for 2 more pieces of paper, 2 more reports. I faxed them to her, and she emailed me back and said, I have everything and I will talk to you within a week. And then we got noticed last week. So we're moving forward.
Good. Let's move on to new business. 4-way stop at the corner of 3rd Avenue East and Cedar Creek. Ernie's recommendation is that we keep that four-way stop there.
Yeah, I thought we talked about that. Did we
We
last
put- It wasn't on the
Made a
agenda.
motion.
Oh, it wasn't on that, that's right.
Wasn't on the
That's right.
So, if nobody wants to make a motion that that be changed, it'll continue as it is. So if there's no motion, we will move on. Okay, let's move on. Request to add fire chief to the ADD insurance.
That's the accidental death and dismemberment insurance. We've been buying it for the firefighters all along, and we were buying it with a FEMA grant that limited us to just volunteers. The FEMA grant's over, and when the grant had been written, which was actually before I arrived here, it had indicated that we would continue that insurance on after the grant was over. We are doing exactly that. And at this point, we've looked into it, and I can be added onto it for, it'll cost the town $350 a year. And then that would give me the same coverage that everybody else has on all.
Need a motion?
We need a motion.
I move that we add John to the ADD insurance.
Okay, I heard Doug first.
That way you can get the help you need.
Yeah.
Also include detention and deficit disorder?
Probably, yep.
Is there any discussion on the motion?
They have a counselor following me
Aye.
around.
Aye.
Carries. Okay. You can be added.
Okay.
Okay, we need a request for mileage for training for the fire chief. If you looked at your packet, you'll see that there's no cost to the town for the training, it's just for the mileage.
Or the room, or.
Yeah, it's a 2-day training in Bozeman, that is partially through the Missoula Valley Critical Incident Stress Management Team. They're gonna pay for the training itself, they're gonna pay for the room, they're gonna pay for my meals. And what they normally do is ask the local department that the individual's coming from to let them take a department vehicle. Well, we don't have a vehicle we can use for that, so in this case it would be mileage, so.
I make a motion.
So, okay. Any discussion?
What is it? What's the training? What do they do?
This is the basic kind of startup class for people working with the critical incident stress team. And it's for dealing with emergency responders, primarily emergency responders who have been involved in a critical incident, an incident that is normal, that's having an emotional impact on the responders. We've used it twice here. First time was an incident I was on the third day I was here as chief.
I was
when we
thinking
had,
that was real close. to
yeah,
the
it was right at the very beginning, and it was July 3rd. And it was really kind of a scramble for me to try and find how to get this accomplished, since I was brand new and it was July 3rd. But, you know, I had some guys on the department at that point, some of the younger guys, that I was pretty convinced that if we didn't get something going for them, we were going to lose them. And that's what basically happens, is you have a bad incident that freaks out your responders. It's just, for whatever reason, extra difficult, extra gory, extra emotional impact. And if you don't get them the support right away, you lose them as responders, and we can't afford to do that, so.
And besides, the damage continues to follow them.
Oh, yeah,
So the
Yeah.
quicker you can get on it, the better.
yep.
I think I'd like to jump in there. John has since then become one of the instructors, or whatever, they're the moderators that go around from place to place to help with those presentations.
Yeah, and that's what this is about. This is part of doing that as well, and it's,
Okay, everybody understand? Ready for the question?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion carries. Man, we are not having a lot of dissension here, are we? Anything legal?
No.
Happy little group.
I have one more thing though, and it's an email that came through, and I didn't get a real close chance to read the whole thing. And it has to do, it came for you, and it has to do with a survey talking about wildfire, because Mineral County's been indicated as one of the high-risk areas. And I was wondering do you want to respond to that, or would you rather have John respond to that?
Well, John
email?
would certainly be more
That survey.
knowledgeable, that's for sure.
Yeah, I
So,
can do it.
okay, I'll
Sure.
try to remember to
Tell them to log it
forward
all.
it to you tomorrow.
Tell them to log it all.
All of it.
Yeah.
You ever
Send it
watch
all
that?
joy.
Afterwards, you get that, all that grass. Did you remember where that burned across that grass in Prince? Those things move faster.
So, I'll forward that to you tomorrow.
Okay, yep.
That's okay.
Brenda, anything on clerk's business?
No.
Wow, we did well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, fast.
Got him pretty fast there.
To pay the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion
I
on
won't
the
tell
consent
her.
agenda?
Yeah.
Go the long way around on the way home here.
I need a second.
Second.
Second. Doug,
Aye.
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 we are adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Are you going for a record?
You.
I think we have the record.
Almost, yeah, last
Oh,
minute.
last minute.